Hey guys, just want to talk to you about some things. Basically, life itself. Um, I always talk about being prepared, and and many do about being prepared for times where where life's rough, like making money by doing hobbies, or being prepared for shitty situations where you have to fight and take lives or give your own life. Being prepared, having your rifles, your AKs, your ARs, your food rations, and everything. There comes a point in life where that means nothing, and that's life after death. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Or just life and life after death. It's always good to be prepared for the things that happen in life, and to prepare others, and to prepare yourself. But we all know that life after death is tough for people. We know that death is imminent. We know that it's coming. We all know when it's coming. Everybody dies. And death is tough. And it's tough on people, family, friends, people who don't know you, the people who know the family and the friends. It affects everybody, whether you think so or not. Recently, I lost my father-in-law. And my father-in-law was a big backer of my channel. I know my channel's small, but all them hopes and dreams, my last video, he was a big pusher and big supporter of me, of what we were going to do on this channel. He always gave me good ideas to do, gave me stuff to review, so much to do. And he's part of the reason why this stuff exists. He got me into what I do. He got me into the guns and shooting and stuff. Growing up, we always had the guns in the house. And my dad was a Boy Scout leader, and he hunted, and liked to do a little bit of fishing. But there became a time where that wasn't always possible to do, and so we never got out to do it. And then I started dating my wife, who's not my wife. I was 14, and from day one, my father-in-law took me in like a son. And for my 15th birthday, he knew that I had guns in the house when I was growing up, and I told him all about that, and he knew that I liked to shoot. From day one, he took me out, and I always heard bad stories about how mean he was and everything, and he was just, grumpy old guy. Not really grumpy. He passed away at the ripe young age of 49. But I always heard how grumpy he always was, and from day one when I met him, I was like, this guy is not grumpy. He's one of the, he's the guy I want to be. I always knew I wanted to be him, just like him. And I would say day one, but it was probably a month or two into me and my wife dating that he took me out for the first time and had me shoot. He started out with a Savage bolt action 22. I knew something about guns because I like to play with video games, and I had my dad's stuff, but he knew I liked to shoot, or like the concept. And We went out and shot that 22, and then we shot a shotgun or two, and then he let me shoot his AK. And I was like, oh yeah, an AK. Well, you know, mind you, I was young and I didn't know that much about everything yet. And he let me go out and do that stuff, and I was like, man. From there on, I was like, I gotta get my own guns, man. I gotta do it all myself now. At 14. Of course, you know, at the time I was still 4 years away from being able to purchase my own guns. Well, come to my 15th birthday party, they surprised me with my own gun. And it's this sweet rifle right here. It's a Marlin Model 25, 22 long rifle. Shoots 22 long, shorts, and long rifle. Anyways, you know, he got me that gun, and I shot the crap out of it. This is back in 2005, 2006. I don't know when I turned 15. Can't even remember, but back in the day, he got me this gun right here. And me and my brother-in-law went out to the ponds, and my father-in-law, we went out to the ponds and shot turtles and frogs and fish and all kinds of things with this sucker. And mind you, my birthday's in May, and there's a big gun show we go to every April and November. And November comes around, and I was like, Steve, I'm gonna get a bigger gun. I'm gonna get a big boy gun. I need you to help me. He's kind of like, well, what do you want to get? I said, well, I want to get a 9mm. He said, well, okay, we'll talk to your dad about it. I said, no, I'm not going to talk to my dad about it. Well, he ends up talking to my dad, and my dad's, you know, he wasn't happy about the concept, but, you know, whatever. And then I got to researching some more, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to get me a 223 instead. Handguns can wait. And so I went from the 22 straight up to the 223, and I still remember that time. I came home from the gun show with a Rossi Breakover 223. Man, was I ever so excited to get a gun. It was, I mean, I paid for it. I mean, I was still 15 at the time. He had to put it in his name, but I paid, you know, I gave him the money for it. And, you know, back then, he handed it down to me. I had this, you know, Breakover 223 single shot. I was a big guy on campus. Had my own stuff. And from there on out, I bought 2 guns a year. I always have. I've always bought 2 guns a year since then. You know, my first one was gifted. My second one I bought. And then that's where I went. He got me started. He was preparing me for the future. You know, for a long future of spending money. To get off my little storytelling there, you've got to prepare yourself for the future. You've got to prepare your family for the future. And over the last week and a half, 2 weeks, that's exactly what we've experienced. Was one man that touched so many people, but prepared so many people for this time. I mean, me and my wife, we've almost been together for 9 years. Been married for a year now. Been almost together for 9 years. Longer than most. Dated through high school. Went to college together. All this kind of stuff. And through that time, my father-in-law did nothing but straight up prepare us for stuff. And, you know, I lost my mom when I was 8 years old. And, you know, I always thought, you know, preparing for death was one of the biggest things you gotta do as a man. Prepare your family financially and make sure they're stable. I saw my dad go through it. And my dad was a hard-working man when my mom passed away. He was always home, but he was always away to work. And my father-in-law, he had heart troubles, and so he had health issues. That's one thing else. You have to be healthy. And I mean, he was healthy as he could be, other than this small heart problem. But you never, like I said, you never know when death's going to come. And he knew that he was getting worse every day. He knew something was coming up. We all knew that something was going to happen sometime, but within the next 5 years, not now. Doctor said, at the rate he was going, a minimum of 5 years of life left. And it hit him less than a year later. Maybe a little about a year. But within that time, he started preparing my family and I financially, knowledge-wise, and he's told me so much about buying gold and silver and copper, precious metals, guns, ammo, how to defend myself, when and where to defend myself, little hobbies that I could do, little hobbies that I can't do because he did them, and I can't do the way he did. How to make money, how to make a deal, how to spend money stupidly and make money after. It's just, you have to prepare yourself and your friends and your family for what's coming. And preparing as a prepper is a good way. Preparing your family, all my stuff that I have in here, I'm just right here, I got 6 gallons of water. That's 3 gallons of water a day for me and my wife. A minimum of 1 gallon a day. If I go tomorrow, or if I go tonight, she has water for when the time comes. She knows what to do with it. My safe right here. She knows how to get in it. She knows how to use what's in it. My ammunition, my guns, food and water, they mean nothing to me. My money, they mean nothing to me after I'm gone. But when I'm gone, it means the world. It can mean the world to your friends and family. There's going to be fights and arguments, or there may not be. My family, pretty much. My mother-in-law tried to hand stuff down to me from my father-in-law's, his possessions. And I said, he was one of the closest guys to me, one of my best friends, a dad. But let's not make any decisions now. Let it go to my wife and my brother-in-law first, and then we'll figure out. But life, everything you own while you're alive means nothing when you're dead. But to your family and friends, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of big decisions. And the best thing for you to do is to prepare them for your end time. By that I mean either have a will or not, but have their mindset the same as yours. And same with the water and the guns and the ammo. Let them know how to use it, when to use it, what to do with it. Gold and silver. Teach them how to sell, how to buy, what's real, what's fake. Because, once again, when you're gone, it means nothing to you. And if you're the one who knows everything and they know nothing, They're gonna get rid of your stuff for cheap, not what you want. It's not what you want, but I mean, it'll be what they need to do. So basically, to total it all up here, just prepare yourself, your friends and your family, for the end times. They're bound to come anytime. And let you know now that as soon as I have a child, as soon as they're old enough to shoot, this right here will just be the first rifle they get. I don't care, boy or girl. My first child's gonna get this gun, and they're gonna know that their grandpa would have loved them to have it. So prepare for your future. Prepare for now. You guys have a good day.